Well, Lee, 5 months now into the job. How are you finding it? It's certainly not a quiet job being the CEO of QPR.
No, it's not a quiet job working in football as a CEO. It's pretty much what I expected. If anything, probably people softened me up a little bit, saying, "Ooh, you better take your flak jacket when you head down there." But I've really enjoyed it. Gotten along very well with everyone here, staff, the fans. I've got good feedback. The Supporters Consultation Committee, I think we've got a good group going there. Everybody I've dealt with here. If any people do have issues, of course, you're bound to have an issue. But people who've raised things with me, I've answered the question. They seem okay. Well, at least you have a logical answer for why you're doing what you're doing. So, no, it's been great so far.
Is the size of the job bigger than you anticipated or what you expected?
It's a big job. I think it's you can make it as big or as small as you want. If you want to lock yourself in your office and pretend things aren't going on, then yeah, it could be a really easy job. But I think to get out there and address the issues. Obviously, we've got quite a bit going on. I've walked in and right in the middle of a rebranding exercise. We've planning permission going on for a new training ground, looking for a new stadium, and that's in addition to the normal day-to-day running of a football club that you wouldn't expect to have. So in that respect, yeah, it's challenges, it's different challenges, and it's a lot of challenges. But if you didn't like challenges, you wouldn't do the job.
And in addition to all of that, a managerial change as well.
Yeah.
You played a key role in the process of bringing Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink in, working with Les Ferdinand. What role exactly did you play in the process?
Look, it was a team effort, and I think that's probably one of the best things we can strive for here is to make sure everybody's pulling together. That's part of my management style. Is I do like to bring people together. So that was a combination of me and Les. The first thing was putting down on paper what exactly we were looking for. So that was the meeting with the owners. Bam, this is the kind of guy we're looking for. It's not about who he knows, what player he might be able to bring in on loan. It's about somebody that could build the club that had the requisite characteristics that we wanted to. That set me and Les out for the search. Looked at a number of people, interviewed probably a dozen people. We got down to the final three. Then the owners came in, interviewed the final three. They were all pleased with the three last selections that we had. So. It worked. It was a good process, and it works when after an interview and you wait that time for things to settle down. Then you compare notes with Les and you say, "What do you think?" And he says exactly what you thought. And the next guy, I ask, "What do you think?" And he tells me exactly what I was thinking. So when you're both getting the same picture of people, it's just got a really good system of checks and balances, and you're going in the right direction.
In terms of the requisite characteristics, what were those?
That is not something I am ever going to, that makes it too easy. But every club goes around and does the same thing. But I think one of the key things that we needed is if we want to develop young players, as somebody that's used to working with young players as well and can bring people through. Jimmy's got that. Everybody we looked at had a degree of that. Jimmy's got that with the Nike Academy. He's got that. Whether he's worked with the youth system at another club, but it's been he's got that. And you look at the average age of the squad he's working with at Burton, you can see how he formulates a squad. So those quite important factors. But really, we need a builder. We need somebody who's going to help build this thing and take it into the future. Not just somebody who's going to come in and be the rah-rah guy for right now, but somebody who can actually put the structures and put the platforms in place that we can spring off from to take the club forward.
You almost pride yourself on saying, "I don't know anything about football. I don't know about formations. I don't know what makes a good player." Yet you've got a very proven track record in bringing in managers who go on to be successful. So how exactly does that work?
I wouldn't know anything about football. I just don't. What I do know is I don't see it in the same way that the guys who play it at the highest level see it, because they see things on a completely different level. I know what I don't know though, and that's probably the biggest help, is knowing what I don't know. But one thing I do know about is managing risk. And so when you don't know about at an extremely high level about something, you make sure you develop a process that answers the questions that you don't know. And part of that was here. And again, why it really worked with Les, who's got that experience at the highest level. Myself with the trying to manage the risk. And again, you're both coming up with the same conclusions. Something's gone right.
And from a CEO perspective, are you pleased with the early impact of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink?
I think in the very short time he's been here, he's had an immediate impact. So I think it's been great. Last game, again, lads never went down. Style of football. It certainly helped the atmosphere here because the place was really rocking on Tuesday night. and that was good to see. You know, we need more of the same on that. But yeah, I think he had a great impact already.
Season ticket prices have already been announced for next season, the loyalty window. Why have they been announced so early?
It's interesting because a lot of people do early birds. In fact, most teams do an early bird special, something that I think we should be doing as well. Not waiting until June, July. We need to get our ducks in order. I'd like to know where we stand there. But actually got the idea years and years ago from my bank, believe it or not, with how we structured it today. Because banks are always offering people, introductory new rates, and I go in and say, but I've been with you for 8 years. How come I can't get that rate? Well, it's only for new customers. Like, all right, so I've been here 8 years. I get treated like dirt. The new guys who just walk in off the street get the best deal. I thought, if I ever ran a bank, I'd do it differently. I thought, well, wait a minute, I am running a football club. Shouldn't I be rewarding the people who are with us? So therefore, the renewal price for a season ticket, for me, has always got to be the best price. Those are the people who stuck with you, and those are the people not just committed to you, but loyal. I think, in the past, by launching them in June, you reward people for commitment for the following year. What I'm trying to do is reward people for loyalty as well. So hence it's early. You commit early for me. The quid pro quo is you see what the prices are right now. And if you're renewing, okay, stick with me regardless of where we are next year, and you're on to a winner. That was the whole philosophy behind the thing.
Okay, and one of your other many tasks, you're also involved, as you say, in the rebrand, the new Crest. 4 have been put out on survey for the fans' feedback. What are your initial thoughts on the responses?
Yeah, it's a low rate, but actually, I'm not displeased that it's a low rate. And one of the things I've said, in fact, the day we launched it, I said, got to give people longer than December the 23rd to react to this. So we will be extending that. If Ian hasn't put it out already, he will be putting it out very soon. But I think people really need to look at it and look at the reasoning behind it. And we'll be putting out some more things to educate people about how we arrived at what we arrived at. I did this in conjunction with the Supporters Consultation Committee. We've seen, even more than what we've put out. We just needed to get it down to 4, and they helped select the final 4 to get out there. And a couple of guys on the committee are from brand design agencies, and were very, very helpful in steering us through that. But the critical thing is understanding where we're coming from and why it happened. And I know you need time to do it, because I know I've changed my mind at least 3 times when I look at it. So, well, that looks nice. Then you think about it, and actually, no. So I think people need to know the reason behind what we're doing. One of the things I would really like to see is joining up the past with the present, and then taking it on into the future. So the whole purpose of branding: make it easy, make it iconic, make it readily identifiable. I think those do it. There were other ones that didn't make the final cut that were very, very good. Some included hoops within the actual badge itself. But the committee, really to a man, all said, the problem is when you put that on a shirt that has hoops on it, it makes it look really, really busy. So we decided we'd take that out of the final designs, because the other thing we didn't want to do was give people a choice of 16 different designs, and then you get, it just dilutes the whole thing. So really worked hard to get that down to the final 4.
You've mentioned the Fans Consultation Committee on a couple of occasions now. What exactly is that? I know it's something that you set up shortly after you arrived at the club. What is it, and why did you set that up?
Yeah, actually, I make no bones about it. I'm a thief. I'll steal whatever good ideas I see other way. When I went into Leicester, they had something similar. Some clubs call it a fans parliament. Some people a consultation committee. But I thought it was really good in that even though people aren't specifically elected on there, you do get a sampling of people. It's literally people picked at random without the stadium. The only people that aren't picked at random are people from like the LSA, from the Loyal Supporters Association. So we've got those guys in there. We've got somebody from this that represents the various social media and websites in there. But everybody else is sort of one person from the family stand, one person from Ellerslie Road, one person from corporate, one person from South Africa Road. One person that's a member, so that we don't just have all season tickets in there. It's to try to get a diverse opinion across the ground. But by doing it at random, while you take a chance on who you might get, on the other hand, you got a much better chance of hitting the average fan than you do if you just hit somebody who's super passionate. Nothing wrong with being super passionate, but sometimes that doesn't, the vociferousness of the opinion doesn't necessarily match everybody else's thinking as well. So I really, really, really wanted to get that cross-section of fan opinion. And I've been really pleased with it. I think that good group of guys come up with some really good ideas, and so far it's working very, very well.
Okay, and heading into the Christmas period, what's your message for the QPR supporters?
Keep the faith. You know, it's looking at all, like we're already on the turn. Keep supporting the club, and season tickets make a great Christmas present.
Brilliant.